Hey guys, Crusader Shorts here, back for a new video. I said I was producing new content, so today I will be coming at you with some Half-Life content, seeing as I have, said that I'm going to be producing a lot of Half-Life content. Hopefully soon I will have a machinima in production. I have been trying to start writing a script for a machinima, which is going to be a remake of the Uprising episode which we did make, and I'm attempting to make it into one video instead of a series. Then hopefully people will have more dedication to the voice acting and acting in that video, so hopefully we'll get that done. But today I want to review, or shall we say do a playthrough of Half-Life Beta. Yeah, so not the original Steam release or the retail version, Half-Life Beta 0.5 or 0.52. Now, Half-Life Beta, this obviously, due to it being beta, isn't the retail version, and this shouldn't have been available to the general public. This is because it's part of a review demo which was released on CDs to things such as magazines and different publishers who did reviews of games. And this is because obviously they want to review the game, show off the tech, due to it being an early prototype of the Gold Source engine, which obviously is based upon Quake, and I'm not sure, but maybe Doom was on that game, engine, sorry, but I'm pretty sure it was just Quake. I mean, you can see that the game engine is based upon Quake as soon as you get in the beta, seeing as the UI of the game, you might have seen the escape menu, I'm not sure if you did, but the escape menu and the rest of the UI is the same as Quake. Now, however, this is Gold Source, which is based upon the Quake engine and slightly altered. This is before Valve created their own engine Source. This is the first engine they made, which is Gold Source, but this is a much earlier version. So it's mainly Quake, and it's not very different to Quake, although the purpose of the game engine and the Half-Life Beta is to show publishers and game reviewers the actual tech of their own engine and how they've actually made it different to Quake and the Quake engine. So let me just get into it a bit. The beta includes a lot of early enemy types, such as the hound eyes, the bull squids, and the head crabs. Now, all of these enemies are, I wouldn't say completely different, but quite different to the retail versions as well, obviously due to it being a beta. I mean, the hound eyes are virtually the same. They're probably the enemy which is the least altered. They look exactly the same, just a little more low quality, and the texture is similar but slightly different to the retail version. Now, the bull squids have probably 95% or probably nearly exactly the same model, or about 95% close. Maybe it was changed a little bit, but the actual texture of the enemy is completely different. The head crabs, now I wasn't actually aware in this video because I was doing a commentary while I was recording the video, although I forgot to check the microphone option in Fraps, which is quite embarrassing, so I'm having to do a voiceover after in Sony Vegas, which is why obviously the audio isn't synced. Like, I'm not talking about the things as I go, so the things I'm talking about are the general demo and not matching up exactly to what I'm doing in the gameplay. Although throughout the video you will notice like what's what and what I'm talking about once you see the things. So yeah, the bull squids are pretty much the same, but while I was recording the original audio and playing the beta, I wasn't actually aware what the head crabs were, and I wasn't exactly sure if they were head crabs or certain enemies, so obviously looking up after I realised they were. So the beta includes, I think it's around 4 cut areas of the campaign, which are included, although I'm not sure if that's exactly the same while I was playing. I'm sure there was a cut area. Now, I wasn't sure if this was actually Black Mesa and if they had the story down, or if this was some sort of cut area, but obviously after I realised it was a cut zone, the main area, without obviously this tech demo and preview of all the NPCs and AI, etc. But it is actually a cut area of the game, and the science labs you do see and all the controls are actually Black Mesa. So this is actually Black Mesa, although it did turn out to be a lot different in retail. But obviously it is still cut areas of the campaign. So, okay, let's talk weapons. Now, the beta doesn't have many weapons. I only had a pistol in the beta. I've heard that apparently you can get the pistol, SMG, and also the crowbar, so there's only 3 weapons you can actually obtain. Although, when I was actually playing through the beta, as you can see, I'm not sure if in this clip it did strip my pistol away and take it away, although I did only have a pistol, so I couldn't find an SMG or crowbar. Maybe if I'd actually got round to killing the Marines instead of dying on a loop, I might have been able to pick up an SMG, but I'm not sure. So there's also the enemies, such as the HECU Marines from Black Mesa, or Heku Marines, however you want to pronounce it, but I believe it's HECU because it stands for something. It's an abbreviation of another word. So these Marines are really hard to kill, extremely hard, seeing as there's no crosshair and the shooting's more complicated. And obviously I only had a pistol, which is really weak. Although it has unlimited ammo, the UI doesn't really do it any favors. Sorry, like I said, there's no crosshair, there's no ammo count, although it's unlimited, as I just said. And the controls on the quick style were quite hard to get used to. I still hadn't gotten used to them throughout, obviously, me playing it, so that was kind of a little irritating, but that's the quick style, so a lot of people who still love that game would disagree. So I'm not saying that's a very bad point, although it did sort of challenge my playthrough of the game. Then we have, obviously, like I said, the map is the science lab and parts cut from Black Mesa, although I'm pretty sure I did miss some areas of the beta, but this is pretty much all I could find, seeing as I actually struggled with finding my way around and getting around the level, etc., because I didn't really know where I was going, but there was a lot of different locations and rooms which I just seemed to follow and then try and go back and find where I was before. So it was a little irritating. As you can see, a headcrab just killed me in the actual clip, which is a bit frustrating. But yeah, there's a lot of enemies which you might have seen a few minutes ago, and those enemies are static, which showcase the effects, the rendering of the engine, and obviously the engine, the Quake engine's features, etc., or gold source, if you like, which is the edited version of the engine. So yeah, there was another version of the Half-Life beta, or I'm not sure if you could class it as a beta, but it was a few levels or parts of the campaign which were cut from the game, and it was released free online. I'm unsure whether it was the edition released on Dreamcast or if it was just an online release, but Half-Life Uplink is what it was called, and it was cut campaign content again. So there was a lot of NPCs and skins in the actual Half-Life game files, which were included in Uplink. You can read about it on the internet. There's a lot of other useful videos which actually explain the beta and unused cut content, which is quite interesting. There was a main character which looks like Gordon, kind of, but it had a big bushy beard, which is it was quite amusing, actually, the character. But yeah, you'll find a lot of that online if you do some research into the beta. So there's some more unused enemies, which include a demon type dog. Now, I didn't do research upon this. You might see it in the clip, or I might have to point it out, but it was like a demon sort of hellhound looking dog with one eye, and I wasn't sure if this was what was going to be used as a hellhound, not hellhound, hound eye alternative, sorry, although the hound eyes are still in the game, as you've seen. So I'm not sure if this was going to be another Zen creature alongside the hound eye, but it's quite an interesting model, and it's a shame that they had to remove it from the game, unfortunately. But a lot of content is removed and was removed during the Half-Life development, so that's just how it is, although it is a shame. And Also, we have another unused enemy actually, which was a human sergeant. Obviously, a HECU Marine, or let's just call them Marines for now. It was another Marine NPC that carried a large chain gun or minigun, and unfortunately, that was also cut from the game files. Now, the animations of it and the pose did slightly look a bit strange, although I believe you would have seen it a few minutes back in the video, because it was actually still in the video. But yeah, it was quite a strange enemy actually, with the animations and holding of the weapons, although it was quite an interesting enemy. So we also have an enemy called the Flocking Floater, which I've heard about on other videos as well, and I believe it's featured in this footage, although I'm not sure. But it's pretty much a hovering enemy cut from the game, and pretty much an alien sort of kite-like shape enemy, which is quite interesting. But that was cut from the game as well, and in the game files, which was retrieved, and the community pretty much posted images of that if you want to go check it out. And one enemy, which is the last enemy I'm going to talk about, which was cut from the game, is something called the Skunk Bat. Now, Skunk Bat was actually in this footage. If you saw the start of the video, you would have seen about, I'd say about 6 or 7 of them. I can't remember how many there was, but yeah, the Skunk Bats pretty much are static, and then when you go near them, they fly in the air and fly away. So I'm not sure if they attack you. I'm pretty sure they're quite useless actually, but I believe they were enemies and they were intended to be obviously quite harmful in the game. But yet again, they were cut during development. So that's another interesting enemy. So now back to the point of how this demo was leaked. So this is the 0.52 version of the Half-Life beta, and this was, like I said before, a sort of demo released on CDs for certain clients, if you will, or companies and magazine writers and publishers to actually review their game and obviously review the tech of the game, which is what this is for. Now, these demos or discs were posted to these individuals, but somehow one of the CDs ended up online on eBay before Half-Life's release. So this was leaked, and it said on Machinima and also on a few other video sources which I've watched that it was actually sold for around $700 to $750, I believe. And somehow, whether it was this disc or one of the other discs or people who owned it, it was actually released on the internet through Reddit. I wasn't actually sure that, I wasn't aware that Reddit was that old of a website actually, because I've only heard about it in the past few years. Although yeah, it was released on Reddit, and all the source files, the demo files, and all the drivers, which were parts of the CD drivers, whether they were for Half-Life or actually just part of a CD demo, I'm unsure. But I do have the files, which is obviously what you get when you do download this, and it also had a set of HTML documents. I think it was one HTML file with useful links to articles about the game and the rendering and the engine, which are now all unavailable and non-existent. So I wouldn't try opening them because you won't have very much luck with it. So okay, that's pretty much the demo. And if you want to obtain the demo, then it's actually quite easy to download on YouTube. So I will post a link if I remember to. If I seem to be careless and forget about that, then I will of course try and tell you where you can obviously find the information and the download. So if you type in YouTube unused Half-Life content, which is a video from another person, I believe, and go watch their video because it's quite educational and there's a lot of information on it. You'll also find a download in the description, or if you search Google for Half-Life Beta 0.52, you can type the same in YouTube, then and possibly download after it as well. Then you should actually obtain a download link to it, whether it's on Mediafire or Google Documents, and you can obtain the beta. Now, the only people wanting to obtain this beta is probably people that are quite big fans of the game, because, I mean, honestly and admittedly, unless you want to check things that were cut from the game, it doesn't really offer any other beneficial factors in topics such as the story and campaign. There's literally nothing really you can do in it, although if you do want to check the content out and you are interested in the earlier stages of development and what was cut, then please do check that out, because it's actually quite interesting. But if you're not, then then you don't have to download it. Actually, thanks for watching this video at all. If you're not interested in playing it, but obviously watching the video. So, okay, so that's pretty much it. There's nothing really left to talk about the demo. So, I'm going to leave the video playing and finish the commentary here. There's not very long left of the video. There's not much left of the video. So, if you do want to subscribe, please do subscribe. It'd be very appreciated, and hopefully I can improve my content. That goes for mainly if you want to leave some feedback. Now, you can subscribe, which would help me a lot, but what would probably help me more, if not also, if you do both, is leave feedback on the video. Tell me, did you like this video? Is this style of commentating good, or should I do a different approach? And what other games should I play? Now, I have quite a lot of games. I've got an extensive Steam library. I'd probably rather not purchase any more as of now, because there's a lot of games I haven't completed. Or should I just do some random games? Should I just do some playthroughs? Obviously, in my update on my channel, I did show you all my plans, so please do watch that, although it's quite long, if you're unsure. And yeah, so give me some feedback. Tell me what you think I should do, and I'll try and produce more content soon. I have a lot of work as of current to finish and do, so putting out content is quite hard for me, so I will try my best. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. Subscribe, like, comment and leave feedback, whatever you choose to do based on your opinion on the video and my channel, and thanks a lot for watching.